I built this restaurant a website without asking for permission. Let's go show it to the owner and see what he thinks. Last time I built a website for this series, I did it in just an hour, but this one took most of the day. I wanted to go a little more in depth with this one, so I included an animated background for the main image when you land on the page. And I also, for the first time, hooked up Airtable so that the owner, whenever I hand it over to them, they'll be able to update their menu items on their own, including the images, the price, all of that. My process when I'm building a website starts with just information collection. So I use tools like Firecrawl MCP and also just my own eyes to go scan their Facebook, Yelp, their Google, read their reviews, just find out as much as I can and use the Firecrawl MCP to scrape as much data as it can and just dump it into markdown files for me. For this project, I wanted to give the owner the ability to update their menu on the website from a simple interface. So I decided to go with Airtable. It's just like a spreadsheet for them. They can go in and update their menu items, the names of the items, the details, the prices, and the image. They can also choose whether or not to feature the item on their homepage. Before I got too deep into the website, I wanted to make sure that I could actually get Airtable to talk to my website. So I built a functional prototype. This is one of my pro tips if you're working on anything. If there's a piece of it where you're not sure if the technology is going to work, build these little functional prototypes in isolation and then bring them all together at the end. If you think something's going to get you stuck, build the little prototype first to prove your point and learn how to do it, and then bring it into the bigger website. I created a little script that used optical image recognition to scan the image that I gave it that showed all of the menu items and turn that into structured data. I had it output that data as a CSV, and I took that data and dumped it straight into Airtable. Before I could get into building the website, I also needed to make sure I understood their brand and their logo. I just took the file I could get off the internet and I vectorized it by tracing with the pen tool in Figma. This is something I've been obsessed with lately. It is not the most time efficient way to do it. It's just something that I enjoy. I don't know, I just really enjoy making these cool little vector graphics. So it's just kind of a side thing I've been doing for fun. Next, it was time to come up with a prompt to create the scaffolding for the UI. I've been using a tool called Magic Patterns. In order to create the prompt, I gave Claude all of the context. I gave it the markdown files I created earlier with everything it scraped from Google, Yelp, Facebook, and the brand image, and said, create me a website using these details for a local restaurant, use this brand style, and then it gave me a great prompt. I put that into Magic Patterns, and on the second shot, I basically got what I wanted on that. After that, it was time to pull that into my local environment, so I synced it to GitHub and then cloned the repo on my local. I'm using Cursor IDE with Claude Code in the terminal. Next, I started building out the website, kind of getting that logo correct, getting the style correct, updating some of the details, and I spent more time than I'd care to admit on the animation. I couldn't get it quite how I wanted, and I also, this is very embarrassing, but I didn't realize that their logo wasn't just a bowl with fire in it, it was a wok. It's Saiwok. I'm an idiot, but I ended up adding the handle later and you can see that here. I got the animation going on the home page. It was looking good on mobile, looking good on desktop, or at least good enough for me. So I moved on to the next part, which was making sure that the menu was actually loading from Airtable using the knowledge we'd gathered earlier. Something that's a huge time saver, and I've told you guys this before, is using MCPs. So Airtable actually had an MCP out there on the internet. I was able to connect the MCP to my Airtable and have Claude help self-diagnose what was going on and make sure that it actually started uploading the content to the website. There was this little featured signature dishes section on the front page, so I wanted to make sure that the client had control over that, so I created a column in Airtable called featured, and it's just a toggle that they can turn on or off for different menu items, and it'll make it feature on the front page. All right, so here's the website. You've got that cool animated graphic on the front, and I added a little extra flavor. Whenever you hover over the flame icon, it kind of makes the embers go crazy, which I thought was kind of fun, but hopefully people discover that fun little Easter egg. Just a little bit about their brand here in the Order Now CTA. You've got the signature dishes, which is fed through Airtable, and some quotes from their Yelp, Facebook, and Google. And then down here, you just have a CTA for the menu. You can go to the menu, and this is all being live populated from Airtable. You'll see that some of them have images and some of them don't. I didn't want to take the time today to go through and try to find every image of every item that I could. I don't think I would even be successful in that, but I got a few in here as examples, and it's super easy to add images through the Airtable. We have their About section, just pulled an image from their Facebook, and a little bit about their brand that I pulled from the internet. And then we have the location. So I made it super easy for people to see the location and open it on Google Maps. And then lastly, we have the order page. And the primary CTA here is just to call to order. It's a pickup only restaurant. And then if they have questions, they can message through Facebook. Next, it was time to actually go to the restaurant and show it to the owner. We had to wait a little while for the owner to come out, but he finally came out and he was super nice. So we sat down with him to chat for a little bit. This is the landing page.
Okay.
It's kind of got this effect. So whenever you like go over it, it explodes with flames. And then if you hit the order now button, that's the primary button, it just has to call. I just kind of walked him through the website and he was quiet and I wasn't sure what he thought, but I had to ask. So what is your initial reaction? It can be good or bad. It doesn't, you're not gonna hurt my feelings.
Oh no, like for us is, we appreciate, you reaching out to us because, we kept it very minimalist and we use the social media as far as this Facebook, Instagram, just to reach out to our broad, clientele. And we've been based on everything being word of mouth. And so word of mouth gets you so far. We've been talking on the back burners of, trying to get a website out there so that people can understand the gist of what Saiwok really is. More soon to come. Like more menus gonna get dropped, more flavors gonna get dropped, and as we keep reaching the 10th year, a new menu drops, so just don't know, it's like, for us, this allows people to be able to visually see it and join a journey with us.
That's awesome, man. No, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We just got back from the restaurant and they gave us free food, which was awesome. Super appreciative of that. The owner was super grateful and said that this was like perfect timing. They'd kind of been thinking about doing something like this, so we're glad we were able to connect with him and make this happen. If you want to see more videos like this or more website rebuilds, just let me know, drop your ideas in the comment and follow. Peace.